Rola.
My hands are slightly shaking. My body is sweating. I can feel slight nausea and overwhelming feeling here in my chest. This is fear. I know it very well. But I continue to speak, word by word, thought by thought, and fear starts to step back, slowly melting and giving place to inspiration. How many of you have ever experienced the same, here or on a bigger stage? Please raise your hand. I remember the feeling before jumping to the water from the rock. I'm staying at the top and feel like I'm frozen. Seems I can't do the last step. I can't move my body towards the cliff. But then it is enough to just stop thinking about the step which needs to be done. Just turn off my mind and do the step. And I feel excitement of free falling and no fear. It is left at the top of the stone I've just jumped from. Our fears is driven by hormones and is normal reaction of our bodies to potentially dangerous situations. Why in the hell are you going to jump from there? It's dangerous, stop. Thank you, body. You function normally as you should to save me. But sometimes our fear starts to enslave us. Sometimes we are so much in their power that our lives become not normal. 10 years ago, I was afraid to make phone calls. Silly, isn't it? But for me, this fear was so real and was making my life difficult. When I realized this, I started a long journey of fighting. I wasn't making anything special. I was just making phone calls. One by one, many of them, despite the desire to just give up and run away. And finally, I managed to tame this fear, to let it get closer and realize that it's not a tiger, but just a kitten. And I can stroke it and let it go. And now I can't even understand how it was possible to have that fear. It is just normal part of everyday life to make phone calls. When you beat one fear, it doesn't mean all others will go away as well. I still fight fears every day. I fight them when I have work calls with my very smart team. At the beginning, I was so stressed out from the early morning if I knew I had a meeting today. But now these fears have almost gone. I fight fears when climbing. I had the situation at the beginning of my climbing experience when I fell several meters down and started to feel fear I haven't had before. Next several routes were very difficult for me to do, but I forced myself to continue them and managed to get rid of fear, which otherwise could stay with me forever. The main thing I learned, I can't live with fear. I need to keep facing it till it goes away. I can't live with imaginary tigers behind the wall. Just think how many possibilities we lose every day because of fear. Fear to say no, fear to try something new, fear to fail, fear what other people think, fear to say I love you. How much more freedom we can have if we get rid of all these fears. How much more we can concentrate on what really matters. Think about this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tatyana. And I think when I'm hearing your speaking about the fears, I think we all can recognize ourselves in that feeling, because we all, that's a part of growth and learning, is to overcome the fears. So thank you for reminding us and also normalizing this important subject. We are now coming to the next speaker, which is a very good friend of mine, Nikan Sargani. She's an entrepreneur, an innovator, and an eternal student of lifelong learning.